Hi, my name is Therese Lacson, and I'm here at the Collider Studio. And here I'm with Louis Tan, who was recently in Deadpool and Wolverine,
That's
but
very
also
recent.
Mortal Kombat and Shadow and Bone as well.
That's right.
How are you doing, Louis?
I'm very well. I'm excited. Fun times here.
Yeah. So I'm just going to jump in with your most recent project, Deadpool. I'm curious how the filming process was for that film, because obviously you're not in a ton of it. So did you film it all at once? Was it one day or was it split up? Can you tell me?
Like you said, not to give away any spoilers, but obviously Deadpool was having a birthday party with some of his closest friends. Very surprisingly brought back Shatterstar for some weird twisted reason, because the family is sick like that. And we had a lot of different improv moments at the birthday party, and so before and after, Hugh Jackman and Ryan go on this wild journey together. It's the birthday scene. So and it took about 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm curious, what was the thing that surprised you the most working on the set for this film? And can you tease anything about, I guess we can't go into too much spoilers, but what was the most surprising thing for you working with them?
Surprising. I wasn't surprised. I did the second movie with them. For me, it was like obviously working with Hugh Jackman, even though it was just getting to see him for a moment. It's like my favorite movie ever of any comic book movie is Logan, the James Mangold film. I think it's a masterpiece. So yeah, to just be in front of Wolverine on set like that, just really was incredible. But it didn't really surprise me. The guys have a really good back and forth, very easygoing, obviously incredible with improv. Ryan will write lines for other characters like in between takes, and he'll be like sitting there thinking and be like, okay, why don't you try to say this and you say this, it's just wild. The guy's mind, how it works. Very impressive, very talented. Yeah,
that sounds kind of chaotic, but also kind of amazing
but fun,
at the same time.
And that's what we like. Chaos and fun.
So I'm going to move and talk about Mortal Kombat. I actually know that they had a test screening a couple of days ago, and I heard some good things coming out of it.
I did too. I got a couple of very nice text messages from the producer, Todd Garner.
Okay. Oh, so can you tease anything about Mortal Kombat 2 going into it?
All I can say is this particular producer, Todd Garner, in the studio, they really do listen to the fans in regards to like what people are tweeting, what people are writing, what people are talking about, what people liked about the first movie, what they didn't like about the first movie. It's a hard IP to tackle. There's hundreds of characters in the film or in the game that then they translate into the movie. Where do you go? How many storylines? It's endless. If you know the Mortal Kombat lore, you need like a degree in Mortal Kombat to really understand everything. So the film. The sequel, I can promise much more fights, much longer fights. It's very gory. It's very bloody. We have Carl Urban playing Johnny Cage. We have a good friend of mine, Adeline, who's playing Kitana. Martin Ford is playing Shao Kahn. There's a tournament in this one. That's all I can say before they get mad at me. So yeah, but look, they really do listen to the people and, what we learned from the first movie, and we made it 100 times better in the second movie. So very excited for fans to see it.
So would you say tone-wise it's different, or it still kind of has the same tone as the first movie?
I would say the tone is slightly different. Yeah, I would say the tone in this one is a little ramped up. Like I said, it's hard to tackle and navigate that storyline because they did it with a new character that's not in the game, right? And it's like, whose story do we tell? How do we tell? How do we introduce this to the audience of people that maybe don't know Mortal Kombat as well as some of the fans? So we tackled that problem in the first movie, and now it's just like off to the races. Now we can just go for it. So that's what the second movie has. It's just wild, crazy, nonstop, and incredible. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just have one more question about that. And actually, it's about your character specifically, Cole. Obviously, he's not in the games. He's an original character. But he does have a tie-in with a game character that we learned in the end of the first film. How does he deal with sort of the revelation of his family and his heritage, so to speak?
Yeah, well, like I said, so the game started with only a few characters. Now it's over 100 different characters. And, it's nice to see the evolution of these things. Like you see Sonya Blade and they have a kid. And so you see like the evolution of different characters. For me, it was great because Hiroyuki Sanada is one of the legends, the best actors ever. If you haven't seen Shogun, definitely watch that. It's an incredible. And Tadanobu Asano, who plays Raiden, is in Shogun.
Yes.
So it's the Mortal Kombat gang, nominated for Emmys, which is pretty incredible. But no, to answer your question, it's just awesome to be a part of that. I mean, yeah, he's part of Scorpion's lineage, So in the second movie, I tried to add some of the choreography and kind of hint at that kind of like Japanese era lineage of the character. Because in the end of the first movie, you only get to see Cole fight once in the very end, as he has his powers, So it's good for me to like showcase a little bit of a different style and kind of hint at the lineage through the choreography and through the movements.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see that. And then just moving on to Shadow and Bone, which I have to say was one of my favorite shows.
Thank you. Mine
loved
too.
Seeing Tolia and Tamar and everybody sort of joining into the cast. Can you tell me, maybe like a favorite memory or just one of the best takeaways that you have from working with such a large cast?
I was just with Patty Gibson and Archie last night. They're out here. Shout out, boys.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's sad because like it was a really great family to work with. We're shooting in Budapest. I learned how to ride a horse out there. That was incredible, and that turned out to be the horse that Henry Cavill rode in The Witcher, I believe, and I think it was in Game of Thrones too, actually. So,
oh my god, a famous horse.
Yes, I thought I was like really good at riding. Yeah, actually, the horse is getting paid more than me for sure. But I thought that I was like amazing at riding horses because I learned so quickly, but then the horse rider was like, yeah, that's like the most trained horse in all of Hollywood, so it's very easy to ride. So
the horse was doing the job for you.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a fun memory that I had, but no, I had a great time working on that. It's sad that it got canceled, and I know that they wrote Six of Crows, the screenplay to Six of Crows, so all the fans out there, I know you want to see that. Make your voices heard, and maybe it'll come to pass.
I'm sure they will make their voices heard. I
love
Six of Crows, so
it's my favorite book of the whole series.
Yeah, it's one of the best. So I'm going to move on a little bit from that and just ask you, in your career, is there a specific scene or a sequence or something that you've shot that really stands out to you that was difficult, and how did you overcome that challenge?
Well, I do a lot of action films, so a lot of the scenes are quite difficult. Let's see. In particular, well, yeah, there was a scene in. Well, no, I can't talk about too much of the second Mortal Kombat film, but
you can tease whatever you want. No one's listening, just me and you.
Let's talk about the first movie. So yeah, the very, very first thing that I shot for Mortal Kombat was literally the opening of that MMA fight. I shot it with an actor / martial artist named Ian Streets. He's a 13-time Lethwei champion. If you don't know what Lethwei is, Lethwei is Muay Thai boxing, but you can use your head. So you can headbutt. Oh, and it's bare knuckle. So it's Muay Thai boxing, no gloves, and you could use your head. So it's insane. So this guy has won 13 of these fights, and he is my first day one fight of Mortal Kombat, where you have a huge crowd watching. Obviously there's a lot of pressure. It's the first day. And I had to fight this guy. I fought him for 3 days straight. Yeah, that was really intense. And somehow, for some reason, although the production designer did an incredible job to make it look very rough, but the actual floor of the mat of the ring, like in the arena, was like really like sandpaper. So I was just like rubbing my skin on this sandpaper, and me and Ian like lost the toes, feet, elbows, everything. So yeah, that was a pleasant. I knew what I was in for once I finished those 3 days.
That sounds kind of like horrific.
It's committed, guys. It's committed. Okay, so if
Did
you
you
didn't
walk
like,
away with bruises?
if you didn't like the movie, just know. Yes, I walked away with a lot of bruises.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I'm hoping it's not that bad in the second movie. There's no sandpaper involved.
It's literally worse.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to watching it then. Just speaking as an Asian and to another Asian, and I love seeing the industry and how it's changed and how it's become more open. But what do you think would be like an ideal like next milestone for like the people, so to speak?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I think the milestone is, we've had Asian Marvel superheroes, like we've had success in different areas, I think the milestone would be to like create original stories. That's the key, because, and I've been saying this for a long time, but it's like, you know, we want to tell original stories from our perspective, and there's beautiful things about every culture that you can tell in a specific way. So we need like emerging artists, emerging directors, emerging writers. It all starts with a screenplay, right? So somebody has to tell something unique, and then that person has to cast the right people for it. But it's like, how do you express yourself in a way that's different? What perspective can you bring in cinema that really is unique to you and personalized to you? You know, so I think that's the beauty of cinema in general. And I think every culture has a special story to tell. And I think Asian filmmakers out there, young Asian filmmakers, tell your story, tell the thing that you feel the most passionate about. That's what's going to make the biggest difference and have the most cultural impact. So yeah, it's nice to have, you know, Asian characters in different films and here and there filling in, you know, different spots. But truthfully, what we need is like very unique storytellers and writers and directors. So all you kids out there, put the pen to paper, get to work.
Yeah, I mean, I do think like adaptation wise, it is really nice to see. I mean, especially with something like Shadow and Bone, where originally on the page, everybody was basically essentially a white character. And it was great to see like Jesse Mee Lee and seeing this sort of embracing of a more diverse story. But I agree. I think original stories, especially with Asian culture, it's like not just within our own countries, but also like Asian Americans and like Asians who've been born in the Western world. It's like a different culture altogether.
Well, there's room for all of it. And, you know, like there's room for it in all genres. Yeah. And you need like revolutionary, you know, producers and showrunners that are willing to cast diverse roles, but you also need fresh new perspectives and storytellers, you know, on the indie film market. And you need to let those voices be heard. There needs to be a space for them to tell stories too. So that would be the next step in the evolution of expanding our perspectives, I should say.
Well, I hope we get to those next steps.
We will
quickly.
Certainly get to them.
So I want to thank you so much for speaking with me, Lewis. I can't wait to see Mortal Kombat 2. I'm looking forward to it. I don't
Have
know.
you watched Deadpool Wolverine yet?
No, I have not. I did get spoiled a little bit to prepare for this interview, but no, I haven't. I'm looking forward to it though.
Are you going to watch it this weekend?
I tried to watch it the other night and they went without me, so I'll try and get
rude.
Yeah, rude. But thank you so much for speaking.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.